Hey guys, it's Megan. I am back with another success story. As always with these success stories, I want you guys to make an intention that you're going to be the next success story, as well as making some intentions that you are going to get something out of this entire thing and you find it valuable. Okay, so this success story is really exciting. It's about someone who is able to really start peeling back the onion, really start realizing how she was creating her whole reality, how people were conforming to her, especially her specific person, because she wanted the special person to come closer and form a closer bond. And she was able to take this relationship, which seemed like it was, just friends with benefit, into something entirely different by changing her thoughts, changing her assumptions, watching her inner conversations, and doing imaginal acts and feeling it real, all those certain things that we teach on the channel. So I'm gonna go through all that, but before that, I just wanna remind you guys that I'm available for coaching. I'm actually offering a discounted rate for December for the hour coaching session. If you're interested in that, check out the description and the link below if you want me to help you figure out how to manifest anything in your reality. And it just doesn't have to be a specific person, it could be anything. I also have some self-paced courses, which mainly are focused on specific person. There's how to get an ex back. So if you just have previously gotten broken up with and you really want to get your ex back, definitely check out that course. People are getting some amazing success from that, as well as creating your specific person to show up differently, as well as some mental diet. Okay, so if you're really interested in wanting to know what a mental diet is and how to utilize that to manifest anything in your reality, check that out. Okay guys, I'm gonna jump into the success story. I'm gonna be looking over here to read it, so I just wanna read it, so I just wanna let you guys know that. So sorry if I'm not doing total eye contact. All right, you guys, so after our last session, Megan, suggested that I write a success story in order to see all the things I've accomplished with my SP. So here it goes. All right, the reason why I wanted her to do this, and I think every single one of you guys should do this, and if you haven't seen, all my other videos about doing lists, but it's just for you guys to create lists, like I see a red balloon, somebody tells me I'm beautiful, someone compliments me on my eyelashes, I don't know, whatever you want. Point being is you just want to show yourself, prove to yourself that you are creating your whole entire reality, okay? And also, I really want you guys to understand this too, is that it's not just that you are starting to manifest because you want something, okay? It's not that, you're manifesting all the time. So those inner conversations, those things you're feeling real, like, oh my gosh, this person might break up with me. Oh my gosh, what if they don't like me? All that stuff is already manifesting out. Okay, so what we're trying to do is take what you've been doing and turn it around, like unconsciously doing, okay, and starting creating it. So consciously creating what you want. Okay, so again, we've always been doing this. Okay, so this is why I say test it. This is why you want to go out and test it, so you can prove to yourself that you consciously are creating this. So if whatever you're trying for, big or small, and I suggested for her to start seeing her self-concept, her growth in this, and keep track of it, because it's amazing to see the results. And sometimes when you change your self-concept, it started feeling so natural that you don't even realize all the progress you've made. And sometimes our brains also go back to, that negative thinking, like all of us are trained somewhat, if we get 100% on a test, if we want 100% on the test and we got 2 problems wrong, most of us are going to be focusing on those 2 problems that we got wrong, instead of the whole entire thing that we've come to learn and grow. And the 20 questions we got right, we'd focus on the 2 questions we got wrong. And so I want you guys to start thinking about this and what you're creating your reality as well. Start focusing on what you want to create and also your successes. Okay, so here we go. The background is that my SP and I dated a little over a year and then broke up. He ended up going back to his ex and marrying her, okay, within 9 months after our breakup. In my heartbreak, I decided to try and find ways to reconnect. I ended up finding out about law of attraction. None of it works for me until I found Create Your Future. I attempted the teachings but had little success because I would always give up after 1 or 2 days. All right, that's kind of common because you haven't heard about this stuff. So this is something you want to practice, just like any skill, practicing it. And staying persistent, because it's got to show up. It's like the principle. It's a principle. It will show up. Anyway, I had a lot of anxiety and often worried that things would not work out for me. Okay, and right there, that's going to be a limiting belief, which we work through. And you guys might have that too. If you have that limiting belief that your dominant thought is residing, going back to that things don't work out for me, you want to start changing your self-concept to see yourself as somebody that things do work out for. You are the person now, the version of yourself. What would you look like if you were getting that stuff, all right? You want to start making those affirmations. You want to start having those inner conversations about that. At some point, I decided to give up, but it felt it was no big deal for me to repeat what I wanted when my SP came into my life, into my mind. I did not believe it would work, but he came back in my life. Okay, so she started attempting to do this, and you know, again, everything's out picture and beliefs. But at first, when you start hearing about this knowledge, it sounds woo-woo. I get it. So this is why I say try and persist. So she started saying these affirmations, and things started showing up. So came back in her life. This is after 3 years of no contact. Isn't that amazing? So he got married. She's able to get rid of this third party, and he came back by saying affirmations after 3 years of no contact. Okay. She kept persisting no matter what. My SP wanted to hang out again. I continue to have a lot of anxiety, panic attacks, doubts, fears, insecurities. I even manifested another third party. After a few months of trying on my own, I signed up for coaching with Megan, and that is when things started to really change. I previously had a hard time asking for what I wanted, felt guilty about what I wanted, couldn't express my feelings, and put other people's feelings above my own. I also felt very unlovable and worthy of things I wanted. All right, and that is a common belief that people have, and a common assumption. We are not taught that we're allowed to have what we want in our reality. At least for me, I know I was taught, put other people ahead of me, and it's selfish, or, whatever your limiting beliefs you have to work through, or being a people pleaser. But, really getting to the core of manifesting is looking at what you consciously want to create, because again, you're always manifesting, but to look at what you want to consciously create is looking at what you are holding for your limiting beliefs. And they're on autopilot, so sometimes it's really hard to tell because it just is happening, and things are showing up, and it seems like it's happening to us, but we don't realize it's our assumptions that maybe started at childhood or some point, and we just keep out picturing those. All right, and that's why I think sometimes coaching can be benefit, is for someone to listen to you and kind of pick up on those things that you can't hear for yourself because they just sound so natural. You've been naturally living in this state. That's why manifesting, when you consciously are creating and turning to what you want to create, it feels so difficult because you're not used to it, and your mind habitually wants to go back to that negative chatter that you're used to. Okay, that's your negative chatter, is basically your habitual way where you go, your residing feelings. So that's why when you want to consciously create, you want to start practicing these things, assuming these things, watching your mental diet, making sure you're not falling back in the trap of those limiting beliefs. Okay, back to the story. I have so much success since working with Megan, and I decided to split it up into this up to my intentions. I intended that my SP tell me how much he cares about me. Well, 2 days after our last session, my SP called me and told me how much he couldn't wait to see me, and that he wanted me to plan a trip out to see him as soon as possible. 2 days later, he called me again. We talked for even longer and he reiterated how much he wanted to see me. He told me that he couldn't wait to kiss me, cuddle with me, and do nothing but be with me. Okay, isn't that amazing, you guys? So again, she was able to work through these limiting beliefs, and as she was, feeling this real, doing her inner conversations, watching her mental diet, creating that end scene that she wanted, and making sure, throughout the day, if she had any anxiety, going back to, the place what she wanted, persisting. And, he came back and said this to her. And who doesn't want that? Like, that's amazing. We all want to hear that from our specific person, right? I intended that my SP is more open, emotional, and vulnerable. He often calls me to vent about his day now, to tell me what's going on in his life, and he is more open, much more open and emotional with me. I previously had a story that he was emotionally cut off and held in his feelings. He's so open now, it's astonishing, but it feels very natural. Again, so we want to look at what she was doing with this, was looking at her assumption that she was having about her specific person, how he was showing up, using that as feedback and not making it mean anything about her, and then tweaking it with different inner conversations and affirmations and intentions and keeping up that mental diet of what she wanted to see, because there's infinite possibilities of everybody. It's what you focus on as dominantly is going to create. So you want to start creating what your person shows up like. And again, I do have a course about that. If you're more interested in how you want your person to show up, definitely there's a course about that. Check out the description if you're interested. I just want to say that because it goes in way more in depth, and I'm not going to go completely in depth in this video. Okay, sorry you guys, some sticky notes happening here. Anyway, so she changed her story, and it became natural. Okay, what I also like here as it starts showing up, because your job is to define the end scene, okay? And you're defining what you want from that person. And as you do that and you practice it, the person starts showing up because it unfolds in such a natural way that it seems like it would happen anyway. And then you even kind of forget about the old version of yourself and that person as it shows up. So he was completely closed off, completely unemotional, and she changed him to him calling and venting and talking to her every single day about what's going on, and their conversations increased, as well as, you know, what I read in the previous was paragraph, which was he wanting to, you know, her to come visit, begging her to come visit, okay? And these are all stuff that we worked on in sessions that she wanted, okay? So I also want to point out here, this isn't just one session. We meet on a weekly basis, okay? And we tweak things and see what's working, what's not working, what feedback she gets, what, you know, what she wants to manifest, what, you know, and that's what it is, because, you know, we always are going on to the next thing that we want to manifest. So maybe she just first wanted to get rid of the third party. She did that, and then she wanted more, you know, to the point where she wanted, like I said, what she put there, which was a success, was him to invite her out and say all these romantic, sweet things and be pursued. Okay, she was able to change that through the story. And plus, she was able to change him instead of saying he was emotionally changed. You know, next thing she also wanted to work on was him being someone who was emotionally available. So we had to work on that and tweak that, okay? And she's able to manifest that. There are just a few things that I have manifested while working with Megan. These are just a few things I've manifested working with Megan. I now understand what you mean by peeling back the layers of the onion. And I say that, yes, it is, because you're not consciously aware of all this stuff. You know, if we learned this maybe from a really early age, we would not have all these limiting beliefs and have these assumptions and have these beliefs, because the whole world is pictured on our beliefs. And now what we're doing is changing our beliefs or changing our assumptions and choosing a different end that we want. And of course, this sounds kind of like woo-woo stuff, but again, as soon as you start trying this, you're going to prove to yourself that you are in control of everything. And then you're going to start realizing all these lies that you've been telling yourself, all these limiting beliefs that you've been holding on to, and peeling it back, learning more about yourself, giving yourself, working your self-concept, which is my definition of self-love. Part of it is just being the best version that you want to be and loving everything completely about yourself. And most of us, like I said, are usually looking in the mirror. I said that one of my videos, I think my short videos, you know, I looked at myself in the mirror and said horrible things to myself that I don't want to repeat on YouTube, okay? Guess what? That's being outpictured to people. So it's start seeing yourself and not looking at your imperfections. Start looking at yourself as perfect. Start looking at yourself as someone who's lovable. Start looking at yourself as somebody who can create their reality. Because guess what, you guys? You are in complete control of your reality, okay? You're the only one that can make intentions in your reality. You're the one that calls the shots. You are. And again, you're manifesting anyway. So those things that you are already manifesting that feel so natural to you, I mean, those things are showing up your reality that you don't like, is what I want to say. Let me rephrase that, because I don't think that made sense. So those things are showing up in your reality that you don't like. You're feeling them so natural. They feel like such a habit because they've been going on for so long. So we're breaking that habit, breaking that old concept, breaking those limiting beliefs and stories, and changing it. And again, that's what coaching can be for, is to look at that and tailor it to you. Because, you know, you could be watching a lot of things online and not really knowing what your limiting beliefs are or what your story is going on, and, you know, just writing one or two affirmations, but there might be more to the story, okay? So, you know, looking at what your true self-concept is, because your true self-concept is everything outpictured, how you view yourself, everything you see on TV, every single thing that you're seeing. Your mind's actually is going to actually set out to seek those things. So if you have a belief that, you know, things don't work out for you, you're going to manifest that. And not only that, your mind's going to have to find, because it's a creature of habit and it's just the way it works, it's going to have to seek out those things to create that evidence for you of your self-concept. So it's really working on the self-concept. So, looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I'm worthy of this. I'm confident. I can have what I want. I'm worth all of this. I'm allowed. If you don't like worthy or I deserve, I had a block over the word deserve. I kind of felt like from my upbringing of religious upbringing that felt kind of like a entitlement thing or selfish thing. So I have to, tweak the words to be, I'm allowed to have this, okay? So we all have different things from our upbringing to work through and think. And like she said, it's peeling that onion back and figuring out what works for you, who you are, what your insecurities are, and then also override those to create what you want, because everybody has a different desire. Every single one of us have a different desire, and a desire is a promise. I mean, it's already there. You just have to align with the end. You have to define the end, what you want, and then align with that through your thoughts, and watching those thoughts, okay? Which is your mental diet. But you have to also know what you want, okay? You also have to change your self-concept to be somebody who is not waiting for the other shoe to drop. Someone who can have what they want in their reality, giving yourself permission for that. Okay, oh, and this is what she was saying. She used to be afraid to speak her mind, because she thought people was going to leave her. So she had to work on that concept too. I can speak what I want to say in my reality. People aren't going to leave me. It's okay. Feel safe, because, if we had learned somewhere in our childhood that if we're not perfect, if we say something wrong, people are going to leave us, and then we end up just kind of suppressing everything of who we are because we feel like that's the only way we can be loved. And so we're learning that that's not true, and validating ourselves. That's what self-love is, self-concept too, is validating yourself, validating your feelings. They are important. This isn't about suppressing things. It's simply about seeing your perfection, validating it, creating that end scene, and living it from that, okay, with your thoughts. That's not to say that I don't have moments of reacting, crying, or feeling like those negative thoughts are so powerful and strong that I can never separate myself from them. Okay, again, I've already kind of touched on that. That's habitual way. So you are going to be releasing these things because you're changing all these habits. And again, like I said, there's a kind of a course on that if you want to look into that more. I realized as I got more and more success that it doesn't matter. If you have a moment where you need to cry or be angry, then be that way. It doesn't matter overall in your manifestation. Continue to assume that this is just a part of your manifestation and that you need to release those feelings. Okay, that's something that I told her. Because, it's not that you want to be afraid of your negative feelings. You want to look at the reaction and what you're making that mean when something shows up in your reality. Are you making it mean that it's not working, that you are terrible? Are you going back to that concept, like I said, looking in the mirror, being like, man, you suck. You can't even do this. Or are you saying, wow, I'm doing really well. And you know what? I'm a human being and I just got some feedback I don't like. I'm going to release that feeling. I'm going to get back on the horse and start creating what I want because I am perfect. Okay? So she's releasing that. Anything you feel is perfect, and you don't have to change who you are to have your SP. That's a specific thing. When we're changing our self-concept, what we're really realizing is stop talking mean about yourself. Stop saying mean things about yourself. Start seeing yourself as perfect because you are. You don't have to. That's what's so hard. We've been taught to put everybody, I don't want to create that belief, but that can be challenging. We've been taught to put other people ahead of us. And also she goes on to say, you don't have to become some positive person who thinks positive thoughts. Okay, that's the other thing too. That's a misconception too. Do you have to be happy to manifest? No, you don't have to be happy to manifest, okay? That's law of attraction, not law of assumption. Law of assumption is watching your thoughts and making rules based off those assumptions. You don't have to become, as time goes on, you get more and more evidence. Okay, again, that's practicing it, seeing it, persisting in it, showing what's working for you, and keeping track of it, write it down. So you, on those rainy days, you can go back, when you're having a bad day, you can go back and see like, oh my gosh, I totally created all this. I forgot. And give yourself that confidence when you are having a human moment, well, you're human all the time, but when you're having a moment feeling like you're not powerful. As time goes on and on, you get the evidence, the negative fears, doubts will gradually fade away. You may still have moments, but they won't be as frequent. This is coming from a highly anxious and emotional person. And she also accepted that if you are anxious, don't even make that a bad thing. Don't beat yourself up. You're the only one who's making the meaning that it means something bad in your reality. And if you are making it mean something's bad, you're gonna have evidence showing that it is bad. People are gonna start saying things. You're gonna have situations. So you don't even have to say anxiety is bad. I'm so happy for all the success that I've had, and I'm forever grateful for the support that Megan has given me. Aw, well, I'm so proud of you, girl. You've had so much success and you've turned so much around. She has, you guys. I just have to give her a little shout out. So proud of you. I appreciate you. I do not think I could have done this without your support, Megan, guidance and empathy. Thank you so much. Aw, well, thank you. I appreciate you too. And I hope that you guys find this, that you guys found this valuable and that you can find this applicable to your life, because I'm gonna say this one more time, this is real. Those thoughts that you're feeling are so real right now that you can't change that situation, and I have been there. And maybe I'll do some more videos of where I've been so you guys can understand that I understand what you're going through. It is a complete journey. Okay, complete journey, but it can be the best thing. It is the best thing. Not can be. It is the best thing, because you know what? There are no limits. There's an abundance. Okay, abundance of love, and prosperity and relationships and money. Okay, so looking at those thoughts in your reality too, and assessing what you're holding for that, because there's no competition. There is nobody doing anything to you. There is nobody outside of you. There is no destiny, because you're creating it all. All right, you guys, I really appreciate you, and thank you so much for watching the video. Please give it a thumbs up if you like it, and once you guys post in the comment, I create my destiny. I consciously create my destiny because I'm worth it. All right, and you guys, one more thing. I said this in one of my other videos, but I'm for real. Make a promise to yourself to stop that negative talk. Okay, no more negative talk. Okay, because you guys are absolutely perfect how you are. All right, and I appreciate all you guys. Again, if you're interested, check out all my descriptions in the link below. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day and go manifest your dreams and start living the dream, because you all deserve it. Bye, guys.